Oh shit, but we back at it again, man. Welcome to another edition of Tales from the B-Side. Tale number 2. We're gonna have Mykal Fox on today. I think this is gonna be a tremendous show today because I know for a fact that everybody knows the situation with Mykal Fox. He'll be here closer to the 8 o'clock-ish time frame, but we figured we start a little early, get the algorithm going, make sure everybody smash the like button. Share the stream if you can. And, let's get some introductions and shit going, man. KG, bro, give us a little intro, man. Give us a little bit about how your day's been and, man, what we could expect today, man.
Oh, man. Hey, hi, chat. What's going on, fellas? Our weekend's been pretty cool, man. You know what I'm saying? I was telling Connor behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? I went to a pool party last night, so it was pretty dope, you know what I'm saying? And people said a pool party. It was only like 75 degrees outside. I'm like, well, it was a heated pool. So, and they had the heaters up around, so it was a good time. You know what I'm saying? They had the bar going, the DJ was doing his thing. It was a cool little vibe, man. Nice little laid back, off way out in the, you know what I'm saying? So nobody's bothered. So people singing karaoke on and off key. So, but yeah, it was a good damn night. We had some good boxing on. Man, it's just a good damn, you know what I'm saying? I roll into the day, man. And I was looking forward to the day, man. It was almost like a kid, first day of school. I had my outfit laid out. I was all excited. I said, I can't wait till they get my boy Mykal Fox on here, you know what I'm saying? And crazy thing, you know what I'm saying? And I might be a little long-winded or whatever, but the Fox family, I met these people, I want to say 3-4 years ago. And I met Alantez Fox first. We met them, you know what I'm saying? Somehow Red came across Alantez as far as getting an interview. We interviewed Alantez. And from that point, I got cool with Alantez. Me and Alantez ended up, you know what I'm saying, getting cool to the point that I had been up to DC. We had hung out a few times. He's cut my hair because he's a barber. So I've interviewed him while he's cut my hair. I had just missed Chris Algieri one time, and it would have been a good collab because Chris, when I seen him at the venue, he said, "You just missed me." He said, "Because Alantez had told me about you coming up." I said, "Damn, that was a good plug right there." So, Coach Troy, man, great dude. You know what I'm saying? This guy, he the way he talks shit. If anybody follows him on IG, y'all seen him do his reactions to videos and stuff, and the way he talks, he's just laid back, but he's talking shit. It's all at the same demeanor. And he's the guy that put me on to game when it came to how I should navigate when it came to doing media once I got my press credentials. Remember I was telling you, TD, do things till somebody tell you no.
Yeah, exactly.
Coach Fox is the one that told me that. And ever since that day, that's how I move around when it comes to boxing. And that brings us to Mike. I didn't know Mike. I knew Coach Troy, I knew Coach, and I knew Alantez, and then I knew Steve Outlaw. I knew all of those guys, and I knew Mike because I would see him in passing or whatever. Because Mike was always on the move. That's one thing about Mike Fox. Mike is a guy of many hats. He's, you know what I'm saying, he's been a commentator. and the guy has it. He can cover fights. Not only cover fights, he has the IQ to train. So this guy, you know what I'm saying, Mike Fox, his nickname is the Professor. So the way he breaks down, you know what I'm saying, this guy, he can talk boxing inside and out. You throw a fighter at him, he's not gonna have a bias toward that fighter. He's just gonna tell you what he actually feels regarding that fighter. So Mike comes out of, you know what I'm saying, cuts from he's you know what I'm saying, you got boxing, and Alontes is more of a fighter. Mike is, you know what I'm saying, he's the more statistician. He's going to break down and he's going to look to box you. He's going to look, you know what I'm saying, and we know boxers, you know what I'm saying, come up short sometimes. So the Fox family, like I said, anytime I've always been in those guys' presence, has always been love, man. You know what I'm saying? So the good family, good fighting family, and they've come a long way. Because if anybody's seen the sparring footage or the amateur showcases of Mike fighting Tank, when they're like 8, 9, 10 years old or whatever.
Yep.
So it's good, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to TD. But yeah, man, the Fox family, like I said, good family, man, and there's a reason that they're here for Tales from the B-side.
Yes, indeed. But hey, man, before you go to TD, bro, you're not gonna say nothing about me not having a tank top on today, bro.
I figured the ladies gave you enough praise. They gave you enough praise. They gave you enough praise. They told you
y'all ain't gonna figure that out, man. But look, if I don't hate Edgar Berlanga. That's an Edgar Berlanga.
That is an Edgar Berlanga shirt. Yeah, now I see it now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, calm down, relax, folks, relax, man.
And it's not a tank top.
Right, man. Hey, before we go to Thomas though, man, next week, man, just we're gonna have a double header next week because I'm bringing Justin Paldo on, and a good friend of mine, Justin Paldo. We're gonna bring him in the noontime, 1 o'clock time, and then we're gonna bring my other good friend who's on my wall back there, Fresno Kendo, around 7:30, around that time, man. So we're trying not to do doubles, but that's just an exception that I had to do for this following show. But yeah, man, go ahead, TD.
Oh man, it was good. Everybody in the chat, appreciate you guys coming in. I'm excited today, man. I want to learn some things from Mykal Fox today, and especially the fight he had last week, and one of the things that led up to that fight, and just the whole situation of the scorecards and everything. I actually saw the fight finally, and I'm not going to talk about it now. I'll wait till he gets on, but yeah, that was a very, very bad decision. Yet again. But yeah, man, my weekend is going well. Yesterday celebrated my 23-year wedding anniversary.
Congrats.
Had a good time yesterday with the family, and trying to just relaxing today. No pool party for me, KG.
You ain't supposed to have them. You're not allowed to have those.
No.
23 years of marriage, you can't have those.
Nah, no pool parties for me, man.
Everybody can't be like me. Oh, hey, KG didn't tell you what I did before we started live, right?
No.
My wife is on the other side of the house, way on the other end, right? I tell her, come here. She's like, what? I said, come on, keep coming. Come closer. What? What do you want? I said, come on, keep coming over here. She came all the way over here to this room where I got this office at. I said, hey, can you close that door for me, please? Yo. Yo, she said, I'm going to make you pay for that. I'm going to make you
set yourself up. You said this.
She gonna make me pay for it later, but I thought it was all in fun, man. And I got me a good chuckle out of it. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is, man. Come on.
I can't comment or say anything. I'm on my best behavior.
You got to be on your best behavior. Okay.
She's right behind me, so
Hey, man. KG said, hey, man, I ain't subscribed to that. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Not me, baby, not me. You know what I'm saying? That's not me.
Yeah, man.
And then to top it off, to top it off, I got my daughter back from school, so I got two people, running my life now.
Yeah.
So she's here for the summer. So
Let me shout out Shawa in the chat, Mr. Shelton in the chat, Joe Townsend, Daniel Berry, Condo was good with your Tay Brown. Let me see who else we got in here. And we got Apple in LDTV, J Man, Stormy B Man, Camille Fields. Salute to y'all. And let me see if I can. I'm trying to bring him on. I swear to God, I am. Here he is, man. So we got Michael Fox in the building, man. How you doing, sir?
What's up,
What up,
Mike?
What up?
All right. What's good?
Hey, man, this is a new series that we started. KG came up with the idea, man, and we linked up between the three of us because we all got three connections of different types with different fighters and stuff. And we of course we got to start off on a second episode with Michael Fox, especially after that recent fight that just happened. So tales from the B side, man. I mean, you got some tales from the B side for sure.
Nah, definitely got done had B-side treatment, but I mean, even still, I always say, like, man, if you can fight, you ain't worried about which side. You going A side, B side, port side, C side, whatever.
So see, this is the thing right here, man. For those who don't know, man, he got that bad, horrible decision against Maestre. I hate to bring that one up, but we got to start somewhere with this. We know what happened this last one, but it almost seemed like a copycat of that same shit, damn near. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I was speaking on this last week, right? How people don't understand how a lot of things go on in the back, right? With the hand wraps and all this other shit. I'm like, just look at the Maestre fight. How did Maestre even make it to the ring with the skin gloves? How does that happen if everything is so bulletproof like people say?
The thing about it is, like, you go by each state commission is different. In Minnesota, they weren't used to having high-profile fights like that, and that's what that basically showed. This is the thing, a lot of people don't even know. My cut man went over to watch him wrap his hands, and he caught him stacking the wraps. So he had to tell him, "Oh, you can't put tape over more tape gauze, so you can't keep doing that." They had to tell him, "Oh yeah, he's right. You can't do that." Right? Then we put our gloves on. We just put our gloves on. So we put our gloves. I didn't see his gloves get put on. My team didn't see his gloves get put on. His team didn't see my gloves get put on. That's why we got to the ring. And this is important. That's why you need to make sure you got a good team that's knowledgeable. My promoter at the time, Marshall Kaufman, saw him as he was walking to the ring. He calls my dad over. He's like, "Yeah, hey, fuck, Troy. You gotta call. Look at his gloves. They taped up too high. He's trying to skin it." So when we go to the middle, my father immediately said something. He said something about it. He's like, his gloves are too high. His gloves are too high. Come to find out, he's like, with the referee Mark Nelson, he's like, "Yeah, he's right." He takes him back over there, but come to find out, he didn't sign off on the gloves. Like, if you looked at my gloves, you saw a Sharpie writing on my gloves. That's the commission signing off on it. Nobody signed off on his gloves. If you watch the broadcast again, you'll hear Mark Nelson, "Who signed off on it? Who signed off on these?" Somebody like, "Oh, it wasn't me." Yeah, there wasn't nobody. So that's the problem we having. Why isn't, like, why? Yeah, like, no, like, I don't, like I said, basically it was amateur hour in Minnesota that time.
Mm-hmm,
And since then I'm pretty sure they tightened up and anything like that. But that's why you need to have a good team with you. I tell that they're all young fighters, man. Get people you trust, get people that's knowledgeable. I mean, some people are learning, but if you got somebody that's on your team, they got skin in the game, you trust them. You trust them because ultimately they don't want to see you get hurt. Even if they out to make money off you, they still need you safe to a degree. You know what I mean? But my March. So shout out to my promoter. He was my former promoter, Marshall Kaufman. He's the one that spotted that.
Yeah. Hey, the thing with all that is, man, that it's a shame because, I can't even begin to think how you felt after that Maestre fight. We ain't even got to the one this last fight yet, but I can't even begin to think that, man. We all made videos about it, trying to, talk about how corrupt the sport is, that they need to, do something about these judges and all this other shit, because we all did it We all did. We fought for you online. Not just
Yeah, I
me, not
appreciate
just
that.
KG, but a lot of channels did, And there has to be a way to get this under control somehow, because the judging has been, it's one thing if it's a closer fight and stuff like that, but these are obvious wins. That was an obvious win for you, and I couldn't. That needs to be investigated to me, man.
So speaking of that, was there any type of investigation on your part, on your team's part, because they obviously were trying to cheat from the get go, and they thought they could get away with it, and then then the decision, which was a clear robbery. I mean, you won 80% of that fight from the beginning. You dropped them, I believe, in the second round. You came in there, you washed them, and then to not get the decision, I mean, they literally robbed you. Like, was there any thought of like pursuing any legal action? I mean, I think you guys protested, right?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he broke up.
Either that or he might have got a phone call and stuff like that.
Maybe.
Very possible, man. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to Drew Titan with the super chat on the for Thomas from the Bronx and shit, man. Salute to you, Drew.
Is there a way to type in the chat through here?
No, you would have to open up, man.
Yeah, because I'm trying to go to the other laptop and type, but yeah, I can't. Yeah.
I can type in there, but you can't. Yeah, I know. That's the only thing about it,
curious.
man. That we might have to switch it up, man. He kind of froze. And that's kind of weird because he's sitting in the same spot.
Yeah.
You got a phone call or something, probably.
That's what I think happened, man. He'll be back. He'll jump back in, man. Well, salute to everybody in the chat, man. All of y'all, every last one of y'all. Joy, 903 Boxing, my brothers in the building, man.
So you see that that was a different dynamic to that, because it wasn't just skin gloves; it was stacked wraps in the back. So they were trying to stack wraps in the back. They had every intention to hurt Mike.
Yeah.
Every intention.
And this is why this is a good show. I'm glad you came up with this idea. I tell people all the time this was your idea. Of course, we all got our connections and stuff, and that's why you chose the people you chose. But this was a great idea, man. I mean, it brings a little bit of a whole lot of light, man, on the things that go on behind the scenes that you've seen, I've seen, but that other people need to know about. And it ain't just good enough for me to say it or you to say it, even though we've been in these situations, right?
Yep.
But it's better when they hear it from the actual pro boxers, man, because they're actually living this. You know what I'm saying? D-Man Jr., Ratchet since 91, salute. So, and even then, I think that they're still going to have issues with what we're saying. What was
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, why the losers crying? It's going to be, you know what I'm saying, they complaining. Get over it. Do what KG said last week, kill what you eat. Yeah, but I'm gonna wait for Mike to come back because I got a question for him. You know what I'm saying? Once we get through this or whatever. But
on the other side of that, it's not about winning and losing. It is to an extent, but it's to what these fighters go through and behind the scenes what they go through to educate others what really goes on. Because not many people they only see what's on TV. They only see what the media shows us. They don't see what's in the back. They don't see what leads up to. They don't see the negotiations and stuff like that. So it's educational purposes. You know what I'm saying? And then like Michael was saying first, welcome back, Michael, is that he's lucky he had a good team around him to spot these things. You have a lot of young fighters that may not have benefit of having a good team like he did. You know what I'm saying, to spot these things.
Go ahead, KG.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
You said when he got back, you was gonna say something to him.
Oh no, because I wanted to get through this fight, but last week on the show I said something to the extent of we were saying what should fighters do when they're coming in on the B side, and I said always be ready. Like I know you're always ready. You know what I'm saying? Because anytime I see you, like I just if you caught the intro, I talked about how you have the mindset of a boxer. You know what I'm saying? You have the IQ. You can train fighters. You have that desire to be in the gym, and you've been around it since since you were a child. So, my question was, I told fighters you need to kill what you eat. What is the alternative for boxers such as yourself that when the referee, the judges ain't gonna give me a fair shake, the commissioner's already against me. They're stacking their wraps, they're skinning gloves, they're doing everything to this to already X me out. How do me as the boxer sway everybody? You get what I'm saying? Like how? When the puncher can go out there and just have a puncher's chance and flatline the guy.
Okay.
What is the boxer's
man,
go-to?
you broke up. You broke up a little bit. How do you do what now?
I said, what is the boxer's alternative versus the puncher? He has that puncher's chance that he may flatline a guy, and then it erases any doubt of him getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? Now, a boxer, what does a boxer do to erase any doubt from anybody? Like how? You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you are the closest thing to it that you've outclassed guys. You know what I'm saying?
He blacked out again.
Yeah, he blacked out.
Yeah, he blacked out again. It's okay. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it piece by piece.
Piece by piece.
Piece by piece. Yes, sir, man. These are, these are things that happen during the live stream. No big deal.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, well, I mean, so as I hear you. As a boxer, the best you can do is, I mean, it just becomes more difficult. But I mean, you just gotta work on becoming stronger and so you can be a better boxer, a stronger boxer. If you're not a knockout artist, you have to just find ways to make your fights a little more definitive. But the bottom line is, I mean, it's not. I mean, I would say to anybody, any fighter, if you're coming in on a B-side, if you're coming into a fight, just assume it's not about to be fair. That's the biggest thing. Fight like it's not fair.
We hear you loud and clear, but you might have to go out and come back in because it's super loud.
All right, hold on a second.
Yep. I almost had to take my headphones off, bro.
I turned mine down.
It's all good, man. We'll work through it, man. These things happen, man. It's not a biggie, you know what I'm saying? D-Man says, shit, he loud. Yeah, this shit got loud, bro. What's going on, Skywalker, man? Who else did I miss that came in? Black Star Sports TV, salute to you, man. Yeah, man. My homie Legend, man, he was DMing me, man, asking me if I was still training and this and that. I was like, nah. I said, I'm managing boxers here and there, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying? We can try it now, man. I don't care about this camera works or not.
Yeah,
we got you.
Yeah, but so I was saying about the answer KG's question, man. Just you have to just go into fights like you're down around and fight like, especially you go into my hometown, you gotta fight like you gotta fight like it's not fair, like you're not gonna get a fair shake. And even if you don't get a knockout, man, you gotta make it as one side as you can possibly make it. I mean, we up at you up at a high level. Fights are supposed to be competitive at a certain level, but you got to do everything in your power to make it just uncompetitive, where you're just the dominant force the entire time.
Yes, indeed, man. And I was asking you, I don't know, like we never got to it because you froze up and stuff like that, but I was saying I can't imagine how you felt after each one of those fights, both of those. I'm going to mention both of them together. I can't imagine how you felt after you heard those decisions, man. Can you elaborate how you felt, man? What was going through your mind?
Well, the Maestre fight, it was crazy because after the 12th round, I walked over to my corner just to see, get a read, and my coach was like, "Yo, you did it, man. You're a world champion tonight." And I believe the fight I felt I fought reflected that too. So. I jumped up on the ropes, the crowd, get a crowd reaction, and I'm, trying, getting a read of the area. So it's like, so we not crazy. We all saw the same thing. Then when I heard the reaction, if you saw the video, you saw my face. I was dumbfounded by hearing Gabriel Maestre. So that one just stung. Like I couldn't believe like. I was a 7-year pro. I was 7 years into my career. I'm thinking, man, I waited 7 years for a night like this, and it was just it was snatched from me. and I don't have any good reason why.
Mm.
That just I was just bewildered, dumbfounded. I felt hoodwinked, bamboozled, all those words.
All those crazy words.
Yeah.
And the second one was similar feeling, or
Well,
you're like, damn.
I think I say the second. So with Boa Shark, it just felt like I'll be honest. I was thinking we're going into the 10th. I'm like, man, we in Cali. It's been a competitive fight. I feel like it's close, and I need to win the 10th to probably even leave with a draw. And so I go out there. I'm fighting as hard as I can. You know what I mean? Doing what I had been doing the entire fight that I thought was giving me a lot of success. And then I knocked him down. They didn't count the knockdown. When I thought I knocked him down, I said that might swing it for me. It might be a close one. They might swing it for me. And then he calls it a slip. And that was the worst thing about it. Like, the referee, he's normally a better referee than that, man. Everybody has a bad night, but I'm just like, man, that was a big moment they kind of took from me.
Yeah.
And then when I heard the scores, I'm like, man, the scores don't reflect the fight that I just was in. I fought a guy who came in who he blew 2 contract weights. Like, I signed a contract at 54, then I signed a contract at 57. He came in at 59 and a half. So, we taxed him for it, and we put him on a rehydration clause. But for the fight I fought, I thought still, like, this is the guy at junior middleweight that, everybody's like, this is supposed to be the next dude. And, he's out here going toe to toe, fighting tooth and nail with a welterweight. That's the honest truth. That's the honest truth of the matter. I've been a career welterweight, and this guy's struggling. He had to pick himself up off the canvas against a welterweight. I mean, I think at the very least, a lot of the junior middleweights are looking at him like food now.
No. Yep. Already, Virgil Ortiz already criticized him heavily for the fight. They said he's one of the guys that said he clearly lost that fight.
Yeah. I spoke to Virgil a little bit, but yeah, a lot of people, like, even it was a dude in the comments actually that was just like, "No, I'm Ukrainian," and I'd say I don't feel like he won. And I mean, when your countrymen kind of turn on you, that says something about the performance you had. I mean, his promoter's probably not happy with him or anything. Like, man, you better tighten up. Like, I had to pay all this money because you missed weight. The least you could have did was knock the kid out, and instead, you fight, you battling, you doing serious battle with a welterweight, and he came in the middleweight.
And they expected to knock you out too. They was expected to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he got 20 out of 20 knockouts or like 22 wins, and I was supposed to be coming up one weight class. Yeah, and I know what they were expecting him, but I watched this fight. I watched this fight with Brandon Adams. I watched the fight with Virgil Ortiz a bunch of times, and the Ishmael Davis fight. Man, we did our homework, and I just felt like I still feel like skill for skill I can beat him. I think, but at that level, he is a good fighter. So at that level, a weight advantage like that just aids him.
Yeah. Was this fight presented to you? Did they come looking for you, or did you come? Did you present it to them?
No. My promoter hit me up and was just like, "Yeah, you want to fight him?" Like, I think they just were in talks. Like, they needed somebody, and like I said, I thought it was gonna be at 54. So I said, "Yeah, I'll fight him." So they first presented it in April. Early April. I said, I do it. I got a contract the next day, signed it, sent it back the same night. And then right after Easter, they said, man, we don't know if he'll make the weight. We was wondering if we can move it up to like 157. We're willing to pay more money, blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking my mind is, somebody enjoyed their Easter dinner. You know what I mean? Somebody really enjoyed their Easter. And I was like, all right, well, if y'all gonna give me some more money, I'll let y'all fight at 150. We'll let the fight ride at 157. We get out to the day before the weigh-in. So we got there on the third. We got to Cali on a Thursday, and he's we're doing paperwork, whatever. I head back to my room. I get a call. Well, firstly, a guy from the promotion came to my room and he weighed me. I thought he was just like getting a weight to see if everybody was like everybody was on point. And then my promoter calls me right after. He said, "Yeah, I just spoke to Tom. He says Boachuk's. It's not looking like Boachuk's gonna make weight. He's stuck at 162." I'm like, "What?" And then I said, "Let me call you back. Let my team know what's going on." And then I tell him, "Man, look, I'll tell you what. I'm coming to the. I'll be at the weigh-in tomorrow, ready to weigh in at, and I'm gonna be on weight. I'm gonna be on weight, and we'll just handle it from there. Like my promoter wasn't even out there yet, but he knows. Like, man, we got me. My team got time in the game. We don't need to be kind of like handheld. You know what I mean? So he's like, all right, cool. I know y'all know what y'all doing, man. So I mean, just call me right after the weigh-in. You know what I mean? So we did. So we went to the weigh-in, and this is the thing. This is the problem we had at the weigh-in, right? He's been struggling to make weight. He shows up like I see him like come in like 10 minutes after me, right? And he's in a t-shirt and some slides. That means he's done trying to cut the weight. Like you ain't even trying no more.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then an hour and a half goes by. He's just sitting down. He's chilling. Got his legs crossed. For a time, I thought, man, maybe he made this weight, but maybe he tired as hell. And then Tom calls my dad over, and he's like, yeah, look, he's stuck at 159 and a half, blah, blah, blah. And my dad's on him like, yo, look, this is, the biggest problem with this is he been here just as long as we have, and he hasn't even tried. He's done trying. He's over here basically. He's waiting on you to handle things for him.
Yeah.
He's waiting on you to handle things for him. He's not even trying. He said, man, we gave y'all a 3-pound weight advantage after coming up from welterweight, so 10 pounds in total. You know what I mean? And then he's like, yeah, okay, well, if he doesn't fight, he doesn't get paid. So he's trying to play hardball. Typically, that's never been the rule, but whatever. So we go to the California commissioner. He's like, look, we can't make him pay you if y'all don't fight. You know what I'm saying? He said, but we did what we were supposed to do. We're going to make weight. He's not even going to make weight. So then they say, look, we'll do it. He says, we'll give you more money because we're their main event. They want this fight to happen. So we'll give you more money. He weigh in and we'll just change the contracts to 160 just so he saves face. But I mean, I knew I was going to have this conversation with y'all and with the rest of boxing media. But so I was like, we were like, so all right, we'll move it to that. We'll let him move we'll let y'all move the contract again. But he got to be on the rehydration clause. 5 p.m. tomorrow is the fighter check-in at the venue. At 5 p.m., if he's over 174, no fight, and we get our money. And they say, all right, cool. We amend the contract. We weigh in, and then he made the weight on the night of the fight too. So he came in at 173.9. So he came right at the limit. You know what I'm saying? So and we still went on with it. I knew already. I took the fight. I still went on with the fight because I knew already that he was going to be bigger than me. But I didn't know that the number one contender at 154 couldn't make 154 no more. But I mean, like I said, this all reflects poorly on him. The performance he gave, the performance I gave, and him missing weight. Like this is like, and I've made this knowledge very public because this is how it all went down.
Wow.
Yeah, man, and it's crazy how they did that because some places do that. Some places, man, are if they don't make the weight, they do have to give you a portion of that money. I can't believe California is that. Man, they was really trying to really screw you, man, badly.
Yeah,
that could be part of Tom Loeffler too. Tom Loeffler and even Dana White. I think Dana White has a piece of 360 Promotions.
Oh, that would be news to me. I know he's streamed. They work. They got like a streaming deal on UFC Fight Pass. If that's the case, I can't speak to how involved Dana White is, but like, I mean, in all essence, Tom Loeffler is doing what a promoter's supposed to do. He's supposed to do everything he can to help his fighter save face and everything like that. Mm-hmm. My thing is this: as the fighter on the other side of the ring, I got to do what I can to make sure I still benefit from it. So, you want to save this main event? How much are you willing to pay to save this main event? And I got that. And I got that.
That's what's up, bro. Thomas, you got something for him?
No, I mean, I was just very, intrigued on what he was saying. I mean, and it's good that, you express, everything that happens. It's a lesson to everybody. And it's just a lesson because I had a friend that fought one of their main guys here in New York on Tom Lawler's main guys. And, everything seemed to go well. Everything seemed right except the actual fight with the referee. But so I was just very intrigued as to like how, Lawler and his guys were. The guy with the big mustache, like that, that's like his right hand man. I forget his name, but he's
I
probably the one
forgot
that was
too.
at the weigh-in. So yeah, just it's just intriguing to me to see how they treated you.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just curious, man. We know about these two fights, right? We know about these two fights, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a fight that we don't know about where you was the B-side that you have something interesting to tell us about that might have happened that could be like a, something good for the people to know about?
Nah. I think all the other fights were pretty. Most of my other fights were pretty on the up, pretty above board. But those two, I know those two have had a crazy story with them. But like, the rest of them, I won 24 times. I dropped a few. It happens like that sometimes, but nothing out of the ordinary happened in any of the other fights.
Okay, now that Bohachek fight, I know that you knew that he was a knockout artist and all that other stuff. So you being that they don't call you the professor for nothing, I knew you was gonna study this. Okay,
Yeah.
I knew you was gonna study this, man. So I was already prepared for you to outbox him, but the consensus was they was gonna rob you before we even watched the fight. I'm just gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Bohachek is coming off of what people thought was a robbery for him against Virgil Ortiz, so he had a lot of buzz going. Like, you see on my Twitter when I announced the fight, everybody's like, "Oh, man, that's a dangerous fight. That's this, that's that. There's no money in safe fights." So like y'all sound soft.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then some people like, man, oh, R.I.P. you. I'm like, bro, y'all really need to get off his meat, bro. Like he's a monster. We not worried about none of that, bro. Y'all scared of this, man. I'm not.
Right.
Yeah. And now after the fight I had with him, it's not a junior welterweight in the world that's probably worried about him right now. Not none of the top guys. So I mean, they said, like, I used all that for motivation. I'm like, oh, this dude's not knocking me out. I'm about to upset this dude. But I knew it was going to be tough to do. His promoter, his his side. We in Cali, his adopted hometown, and everything like that. But we don't worry about all that. We weren't worried about that, any of that at all. Like I said, I know skill for skill, I could get with him. Like I said, I think the biggest difference was just the weight. I think the weight aided him a lot. And I mean, he, like, after the fight, he's like you can't run. I didn't run, and you can't
boxed.
you can't
boxed.
and you
Yeah.
none of that. Like you said, you can't run, and my papa, like, and you can't blow the weight twice. You can't blow the weight 2 times. But all of it's part of life. He would, but like, the thing is, he never. I know he wouldn't fight me again. They'd avoid me like the plague. Like I'm the one that's knocking everything out. He wouldn't fight me again. And if we were to fight again, you either make 54 or we walking away from it, man. Because we gave you all that weight this time. You get no concessions from me if we were to fight a second time. And I think, and like I said, like I said, skill for skill, I knew I could get with him. I'm hitting him with plenty of counter punches, plenty uppercuts. We battling and we both getting off on at long range. So it was, like I said, I think it was a really good fight. I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed watching it just for the, like, even if it's not me, I just enjoyed it. This was a good fight by both guys. He did what he did. He was doing his thing. I was doing my thing. I mean, but like I said, with him, like, missing weight, the more problems I got with the fight is the commentary team, where I told y'all this man was overweight, and they kind of still were kind of like dogging me out, and I'm like, bro, y'all not giving me credit for any of the good shit I'm doing, and y'all not, and as journalists, y'all not telling the whole story. Y'all just like painting Bohachek as this as this thing he's not. But people got eyes, so we saw.
Yeah.
So we saw what was going on, and the people that watched saw what was going on. They're not saying robbery because I was completely ineffective.
Well, the thing I want people to understand too, because a lot of these people don't really know how this shit works, right? Because everybody's like, man, that wasn't no hard hit or nothing like that. It was a jab that he caught him with and he dropped him. It doesn't have to be a punch that hurt him.
It was a punch.
He's off balance. That's on him. He got it. That's on him for having his feet.
Exactly,
you
man.
Have if you ain't got disciplined feet, that kind of thing happened. I caught him with a straight left as he jumped in. He left both his feet to try to hit me with that shot, and I threw and I snuck a straight left hand out. It wasn't the hardest left hand, but like I put my straight down with a counter left too. So like y'all gonna learn one day.
You said one day.
Hey, that's all I'm saying, man. People gotta understand that was a knockdown. I don't care. It doesn't have to be a Mike Tyson punch, bro. Like that's the part that gets me with people, man. But no, that was the consensus, man. Because I mean, we got this little group where we do pickups and stuff like that. Like, I said Michael probably will win that fight and outbox him, but he probably gonna rob him. That was our statement. That was before he even fought, bro. That was before he even stepped in the ring.
Yeah.
So it's like we saw it coming from a mile away, is what I'm saying.
I got a question real quick. So in that fight, warming up in the fight, did you see any of the fights on the undercard? Because there was a fight in the undercard that I thought was not a robbery, but the decision was bad. Like it was, I thought there was an upset. They didn't call it, and then 2 of the 3 judges had it unanimous, had it a shutout. It was Dundee Jr. was fighting this guy from Baltimore, from Maryland. Abel Magia, something like that. I thought Abel won that fight, or should at least deserve a draw. And 2 of the 3 judges. You mean
Antonio Duntnell?
Dundell, yeah. He's from Baltimore, right?
Yeah, he's
and I know him because he fought a friend of mine here in the Bronx. From the Bronx, he fought Ofacio last year, and he looked good yesterday. I mean, he looked good in that fight. I thought he earned at least a draw in that fight, and the judges gave 2 of the 3 judges scored it 6-0, and then 1 judge scored it, I think 4 rounds to 2, which is more realistic.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, those guys. I think all those guys that fought are from or around California, the California area. Even the young lady that fought in that defended her title. She's I think originally from Japan, but she trains in California, so she's had a lot of time. Now these judges see these fighters; they've seen them a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's just a tad bit of favoritism, but
that's the promotion's fighter. The guy that he was fighting too. So all those guys were 360 guys. Like Trinidad is a 360 guy. The girl, Magia, I can't pronounce his name. He's another 360 guy. Those are their fighters.
Yeah. So I mean, they don't. The expectation is that it's a showcase for them, but like. Yeah. We all roll the dice. Like I said, there's no money in taking safe fights. Fights like this can change. You make your nice piece of change, and you can change your career trajectory. Walking away with that win with Boacek would have put me in a lot of conversations. That's the main thing I was fighting for. Is to being in those type of conversations.
I think it still does because the people who I tell people this all the time. I think it still does because people really know the truth of what happened in there. I think you'll get your opportunities, man. I do. I mean, I know they like to. Because they know what they saw. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, you know what? Yeah. This kid deserves another shot, man. Because, man, he done got done wrong with Maestre. He done got done wrong with Boacek. Somebody's going to get this shit right. We're going to give him another opportunity. We got to make it right, man. I mean, the boxing gods got to make this right for you, bro.
I don't even think it's them trying to make it right. Them just trying to see if it's a third time fluke. You know what I'm saying? I think that be the night that Mike goes out and does what I said, flatline somebody, and they go like, "Oh shit, what happened? What happened?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it's real slimy out there, man.
Yeah.
So I haven't had much to say for real because Mike has been pretty much answering everything that I, you know what I'm saying, potentially wanting to ask. And Thomas has been coming in doing this part, and Kano, like I said, I got a great panel here, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, this is cool. This is dope.
But if you guys ready to wrap it up, I don't want to take up too much more time from Mike. I told him I said it was gonna be like 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? We can get back to it.
For sure.
One question I gotta ask this. So, Michael, so what was the reason for you jumping right back in there? You got a fight coming up already. I think July. Like you're back at it again.
Yeah, I mean, because why not? Like a lot of times, you have big fights like that, and then you gotta go, MIA for a while, waiting for the next big opportunity. My promoter said, "Well, look, we got a fight coming up in July." They said, "I mean, how you feeling? I know it's kind of early. Do you want to jump back in?" I knew I'd be all healed up and ready to go. I'm gonna be back in the gym this week. So I was like, yeah. I said, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. July 26th, because I mean, like I said, I spent more than enough time waiting on the next call. We got something to we're in a good place mentally, and we got having a date, have something to look forward to, bounce back, get back in the win column, things like that. I'm also going to Australia to spar with Tim Zoo. He's getting ready for Fun Doors, so I just want to ride that momentum into another fight. And that's good preparation. That's gonna be great preparation for him and myself. So we're gonna take it. I want to be able to take full advantage of that. So July 26th at Maryland Live Casino, we right back at it.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, because the reason why I asked that, because I think when I went to go check your box rec before the Bowhead check fight, that fight was already scheduled. So you already had that fight lined up or that date lined up.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. I was just focused on Bowhead check, but I figured like even my promoter said, no man, however this fight goes, we're gonna have you back anyway. So just so we can, we'll have you right back on. Like they want to keep, just want to be able to keep things moving. As long as we can get an opponent and everything like that, I'll be fighting July 26th. I'm actually excited. I'm excited to. I'm excited to have this type of activity. I like having this activity. It keeps me sharp. And then like I said, going off to training camp, training with like world championship level guys. So that's, we just, like I said, we're just gonna ride the momentum into great things.
Man, I like that, man, because you got to stay sharp. I'm a big proponent of that. Stay busy, man. To hell with all that. You ain't got time to be sitting around, thinking about what happened the other day. It's time to keep it moving.
That's why I said that. That's why I said that as part of my intro. I said, man, I said they stay ready. I said, Fox them. That's a philosophy behind them. They stay ready. He's always working. Just ready for that call.
The motto is opportunity, not events.
Y'all got to keep it a buck. You did a lot better than I thought you was gonna do against Bowichuk. You did a lot better, man. Bro, I don't have to sit here and lie to you, bro. I mean, I like what you did. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I felt you was gonna, have a little bit of a. How do I say this shit? You almost made it look a little bit too easy, bro.
I mean, making it look easy is a difficult task, anyways. No matter how easy I make it look, but making it takes a lot of hard work, man. We just had, like I said, we had a great camp, and while I got shout out to, I gotta shout out guys like Benjamin Johnson, Mykal Phillips, Davon Whitmire, Keith Saunders. We got a lot of rounds, especially with Ben Johnson. We got a lot of rounds with him, and he was right after he was removed, like a week and a half removed from his last fight. He had fought April 12th. So I told him, man, just stick around for me. You know what I mean? He said, oh, I got you. And then that's why he's a big part of why we were competitive. We were able to be as competitive as we were. And I mean, like I said, he's 5-0 or 4 or 5-0, and he hasn't seen a second round yet. Those are the kind of guys I was. That's the kind of guy I was, sparring in preparation for Bowichuk for. Big kid. He's young. He's fat. Was he 20, 21 years old? He's actually fat. Hands are faster than Bowichuk's and everything. So we were doing a lot of rounds, and at his gym, it's nice and hot too. So it's a push physically and mentally, man. And I'm super duper grateful for just having him around. And for another, that's another lesson to like young fighters, man. Don't always be good work and don't be hard to deal with. People will like having you around. So, big shout out to No Excuse, Lamar Rose Senior, that whole mob, Jordan Rose, all them, but Ben Johnson. We did like I said, we probably did about 50 rounds ago, and then plus coupled with the other people I sparred.
Man, that's some good work right there, man. Lamont Roach actually came down here to the Tampa, man, to Mark Foray when he was getting ready for the tank fight, man. He was down here in Florida where I'm at, man. So yeah, man. I've seen a lot of people get a lot of good work in, man. And I appreciate you stopping by, blessing our panel, man. But I gotta pick a bone with KG. Don't you ever tell a guest that we're gonna be here like 20 or 30 minutes, because that's the plan. But we talk too much for that, bro. We talk too much.
That's all good, man. I appreciate y'all having me on, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man.
I really do appreciate this from you, Mike. Hey, let Pops know we're gonna spin the block because we need him to come on too, because he got stories for days.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I've been to say about it. And man, just shout, like I said, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate y'all, man, giving me the platform to tell the story as it needs to be heard, man. Because a lot of people not need to know what happened in the lead up, and a lot of people can benefit from from my experience. I'm gonna put it out there for people. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
Yes, indeed.
I appreciate
man.
that, man. Like I said, we appreciate you, man.
Many blessings, man. Yep, many blessings in your future, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Yep. Hey, Mike, I'm gonna try to be up there for the next fight. Is that Jeter Promotions?
Yeah. July 26th, Jeter Promotions, yeah.
All right, I see what's up.
All right, bet.
All the best, bro.
Peace.
See ya.
All right, man. Hey, man, that was Mykal Fox, man. We had him on the show, man. That was a KG plug right there. Sorry that, he couldn't get his camera working, man, for the second half. But, technical difficulties happen, man. And, but all in all, I think we had a great show. I know that KG and I, not Thomas, because Thomas, he'll talk, however long he doesn't put a time limit on his lives, right? But me and KG was talking like, we should do 15, 20 minutes, 30-minute shows with these tales from the B-side. And I don't think it's worked out that way the first two times. And I highly doubt it's going to work like that again the next week either, man.
I know. I don't know Paldo as much. I know of him. I don't know, but I know Frez has got to have a lot of stories. I know he's going to talk. Yeah, he's definitely,
he's on my wall, man. See, it's on my wall.
Yeah.
He actually signed that thing, man. He put a big long paragraph on there, man. Cause we from the same hood back in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So the Cano from the same hood as me. Blah 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 blah. It's a dope little paragraph that he dropped in there, man.
Nice.
We don't talk as much as we can, but he's a busy man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only reason I'm doubling up, man. Because he was like, man, I got to do it this Sunday because if not, it's gonna be a long while if I'm available again and blah blah blah. And I was like, damn, I really didn't want to double book. But since Paldo hit me up and say, hey, man, I need to do mine early. I can't do later, the nighttime one. So I was like, well, we'll do his at 1 and we can do the other one at 7:30. And it should work out fine, man. But Paldo's a good kid too, man. He's not going to be as talkative as Mykal Fox and us. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of one of those that you got to kind of steer into that, man. Justin fighting on the 7th. I can't wait. Yeah. And you see Justin Pardo's last fight on Pro Box, bro?
No, I don't know much about him. I got to be honest. I got to go do some research.
Yeah, that man was an underdog going into that fight and knocked dude the hell out, bro. He knocked him out, bro. Put him in the dirt, bro. That's a B-side. That's some B-side shit right there. He was ready. Like KG was saying, he stayed ready. And when they called him up, he went up in there and knocked his ass out, bro. Ain't no debate now. Get him out of here. Put him in the dirt.
And he has a fight coming up?
Yeah, July 7th, yeah.
Oh, July 7th. Okay, I think it's July 7th. Okay.
It's 3 days before my birthday.
Look, Shawa said, I got him in my intro. I matter of fact, that fight, I shared that live stream, man, to Shawa when he was on Pro Box, man, like the next day, because I think she had missed it. I was like, oh, man, here you go. I think it was that fight. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't want to be a liar and shit, but I think it might have been that fight that I said, here, go look at him. Oh, because I was bringing him on to interview him. So I sent her the link to that fight. on Pro Box, man. I'm surprised you missed that, Thomas.
No, I missed that one. I'll definitely go check that out. So I always try to do my homework before these lives. So I write things down. I got a notebook and I write things down. I have some questions here and I always write it down. You know, I try to be prepared for these interviews. So I'll definitely be doing some research before that.
She said June 7th. My bad. Yeah. Nah, but he's one of my old friends and shit too. So you know that one was easy for me to get. Though I got a lot of people's phone numbers, so the ones that are easy for me, that's where I'm starting. You know, that's where I'm starting, man. I was trying to get William Skull on, man, but I said, you know what? I ain't trying to overbook, man. So you know,
so I'll stay tuned. You might see a William Skull on here.
Okay.
It could possibly happen, man. I don't know. We'll see. It's a little tension, you know. It's a little tension, but
Connor gonna do the translation and everything.
God damn.
Yeah, do translation and everything.
Hey, Thomas, you know when I had Ricardo on, bro, I was that shit was in Spanish. Your wife had to translate for you, right?
My wife was trying to translate a little for me, but she don't like doing it. She be clowning me, man. Right, Lisa? Yeah. She said, you know it. You see, she's mad disrespectful.
Yeah, man. I was talking my shit too, bro. I was talking my shit in Spanish, bro. Y'all ain't know.
But Ricardo does translations too. He told me that whenever that he would translate for me, like because when I did the interview with Chadi, he translated. So he said that's what he would do. But you know, I have to talk to him. I haven't hit him up in a while.
I ain't hit him up in a while either. I need to because you know I need to get William Ortiz on here.
Yeah, that
not for Tales of the B-side, but you know I need to get him on here on my show because you know he got the same name as me, man. I told Ricardo that. I'm like, bro, I'm
gonna text him after this. I'm gonna text him right away and just be like, "What's up?" Because I want to talk to him and Jan, but you know he would have to do the translations because obviously I don't think they either or speaks English, or at least speak English well. Because Jan Santana, I don't think speaks English.
Yeah, don't call my phone, bro. Talk about Kano, man. I need you to translate Kano.
Yeah, man. And my wife won't do it for me, so I'm out of luck.
The thing about it is, man, I can translate, right? The problem is that my attention span is short. So if the question gets long and the answer gets long,
yeah.
Now I gotta paraphrase. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, now I gotta paraphrase because the motherfuckers could go on a 5-minute diatribe on one answer.
Yeah.
I can't translate 5 minutes in a row, bro. Yo, relax. Let me translate this first before you continue.
No, that makes sense though, because if they give in a statement for like 3-4 minutes, how are you supposed to remember that and translate the whole thing? Now
they do it too. They do it.
Yeah.
They do it, KG. And I'm like,
Look at Joe Townsend. He said, all I need to know is Nami and Papi Chulo.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, look, bro, we done had I'm tired, man, because I was in Georgia yesterday. I had to go pick up my stepson. He's here for, I don't know how long he's going to be here at the house, but for however long he's going to be here, you know. So I had to go to Georgia to pick him up. Got back late last night, and man, you know, it almost feel like a jet lag type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get off of here, I know I ain't going to be able to go to sleep. But my body's fatigued. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, you're off tomorrow, right? Everybody should be off tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow, man. And I might because I did a test and an assessment and an interview, man, for a remote job. So I'm hoping to hear from that next week sometime, man. And I might be able to be working from right here where you see me sitting at.
Oh, that's what's up. That's good.
You know, so.
Wish
it's time, bro.
That's dope.
Yeah, me too, man. Man, any last words, man? KG, and then pass it to Thomas for the last word.
Man, it's been a good one, man. Week 2, episode 2, Tales from the B-side, Michael Fox. Appreciate everybody for tapping in and tuning in, and those that will come back and catch the playback. Share this. I think it was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? We got some stuff out. And I'm looking forward. Like I said, I'm gonna say this every week. I'm looking forward to more stories, and I'm looking for more people to tap in and listen to these stories because Mike said it. Mike said something in my story or somebody else's story might be beneficial to somebody else.
Yeah.
Might help you enlist the services of certain people to be on your team. It's all, you know what I'm saying? It's not about fun and games. It's about, you know what I'm saying? It's about people being in the right position and being resourceful in those positions, having the eyes and ears when necessary. So y'all just keep, you know what I'm saying, paying attention and any little tidbits that may help you. So shout out to everybody to watch, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that's going to listen, and we'll see you next week.
What up with it? Thomas, give us some last words before I do my last.
No, this was dope, man. Appreciate everybody that came through and, share the video. This was definitely educational. As KG was saying, he explained some things that be beneficial to other fighters that you may know, and just, to the general public. This is educational. Like, I'm learning from this as well. Like, this is good to know. We all know fighters. We know other fans of boxing too. They may need to understand the business, that happens before they get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So, and then just the positive attitude Mykal had, like, going into it. Like, so what? Like, he answered my question. That was the question. He said, so what? I'm going in there, and I'm going in there because I'm going to win. I'm confident that I'm going to beat this guy, So, and some fighters may not think like that. They're looking at a bag. They want to make sure they get paid a certain amount. Sometimes fighters get offered, certain fights, and they're like, nah, it's not enough. So, that possesses some sort of doubt. You know what I'm saying? But he was very confident. I liked his attitude. And this was great. And I look forward to hearing more stories from other fighters. You know what I'm saying? So next week we got 2. So I can't wait.
And hopefully those are 15 to 30-minute ones. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't intend for them to be long. Honestly, we don't, because Tales from the B-side should be, something where you can only tell so many stories for each fighter, so it just ends up going long because we go left field and right field and go back around the block type of shit, and we end up having conversations with these folks. Is why that happens, which that's fine. When it happens, that's fine. We go with the flow and stuff like that, man. But I appreciate everybody tuned in, and I do mean everybody that tuned in, because I've seen people in there that don't like me, but I don't have no beef with none of y'all. So I'm glad y'all came through and enjoyed the live, because that's what it's all about, to consume this great content, to consume these great stories that these boxers have. This ain't about me. This ain't about KG. This ain't about Thomas. This is about these professional boxers and the stories that they got to share with the masses, with the world, man. So I appreciate the folks that came in and got them stories from them, man. And we'll have 2 of them next week, man. So tune in to those 2, man. But this is always brought to you by CL Management, DB Tracksuits. Big shout out to the Mighty LDBC, Kind of Local TV. Usual Suspect 6. We out.